Good afternoon, how? What's your time now? It's towards afternoon, it's not yet afternoon. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. Let's continue with our program. Thank you very much for coming back. We know there was a delay there, and sorry for all the inconvenience we have reported. Hope things will be okay. We are continuing with our program. We will try to fast track all our program because of, as I've said, because of the load shedding that will be taking place at 2 o'clock. So we must try by all means to get all our speakers before 2 o'clock. I have mentioned to you that we miss Dr. Mosheu together with Ms. Poso. Mohale are here with us, and Mr. Mpaya, a lecturer at UKZN, is also here. We'll firstly give an opportunity to Mr. Mpaya. You will soon be Dr. Mpaya, I know, just to give us his lot. And thereafter, it will be Dr. Mosheu. Thank you very much. Thank you for good listening. Thank you. Before that, may I also apologize on behalf of Mr. Khalil. He couldn't be here in the morning. There were health challenges in the morning. He reported that. And then, but now he's going to try his best. He can introduce Mr. Mpaya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ingobane. Good day to all of you. It's nice to see such a huge gathering of magistrates from all different courts within our province. Yeah. I think more of this type of interaction is required, where you can exchange ideas and just interact with each other. But it's wonderful to see all of you, and we thank the cluster head for making this opportunity available to all of us. I've been tasked with just introducing Mr. Impia. Mr. Maropeng Norman Impia possesses a Bachelor of Laws as well as a Master of Laws. Both degrees were obtained from the University of South Africa. I have been informed unreliably that he just scraped through his Bachelor's of Law, but his Master's of Law he obtained it cum laude. So it seems that Mr. Impia is somebody who progressively becomes better. He further acquired a Public International Law Certificate from the University of Pretoria, a certificate in African Political Economy, the African Economic Challenge, also a certificate in Thought Leadership from Thabo Mbeki Leadership Institute, as well as a certificate in Global Law and Policy from Harvard Law School. Mr. Impia is currently a lecturer and a PhD candidate at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. He is also a director of part-time practical legal studies here at Durban, at the Law Society of South Africa. And finally, he is also a member of the Magistrates Commission. I think he's been a member now for about a year or a year and a half. So he serves on the, I think currently on the Ethics Division of the Magistrates Commission. Mr. Impia has also given or delivered various presentations at human rights dialogue, at workshops. He has also been involved in the training for magistrates and others in the justice system. He is indeed a very dynamic speaker, and the first time I met him, if I could just take a minute, Mr. Impia, just to say that, I was so impressed with him. It was on a Saturday, and he was involved in preparing the school children for the moot courts. And we had about, I think, 4 or 8 moot courts in Durban. So he assisted the students with the research and guiding them how to argue various constitutional issues. And just listening to him, I was so impressed. And I think that same morning I phoned Mr. Ngubane and I told him, wow, we've got a gem here. It happens every now and again, out of perhaps maybe every 1,000 or 10,000 people you meet in the legal field, that one person would touch your heart and impress you and inspire you to such an extent. And I think Mr. Impia did that for us. I'm putting him under pressure now, so his presentation has to be very good. All right, I'm sure you will enjoy his presentation and discourse. May I call Mr. Impia? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you all right, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you have received your flowers. It's Valentine's Day. They said I'm 1 in 1,000 during Valentine's Day, so I'm pretty chuffed at this moment that I'm 1 in 1,000. But thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen, to address you in the month of love. So I'm hoping that it's going to be quite good. I'm not quite sure why the mic is making an echo, but I'm sure we'll work around it. Thank you so much for the leadership in KZN, the magistracy leadership, Mr. Ngubane, Mr. Khalil, and Mr. Hlazwayo. I really appreciate your invitation, and I will honor it to the best of my ability. Can I just say, the leadership in the judiciary as well, all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, you would see on the program that I'm here to speak about how to operationalize constitutional law during our judicial processes. And in this particular dialogue, it's not so much that we'll be speaking about things that you don't know, but it's how best to serve our communities using the tools of constitutional processes. And I'll speak just about minor issues with respect to ethics. I serve in the Ethics Commission, so I thought it'd only be fair to warn you. For those of you who do not know your face, keep it that way. It is best that way that I do not know you, because if I know you or I know you of your name, it means you're in trouble. So we'll just speak about maybe 7 minutes or so on how to avoid being caught and unfortunately appearing before us. I'm not quite sure if I can break protocol for a second. This mic is not doing me justice. Now, how are you guys going to see this particular scenario? Now, who is Mr. Van Donder? Van Donder, ladies and gentlemen. Who is this Khalil? I need the brave amongst you to please, if you don't mind, you can come here or you can tell us your scenario of how to resolve this matter. Please don't be long. About a minute or so, just to tell us, you are a sitting magistrate, this matter comes before you. Many of you, this matter has come before you, is it not so? Well, if you're in the rural areas, of course, I don't think there's many stock theft in the city. But can someone just please vaguely tell me how they would have started with making sure that Ms. Collier gets the justice that she deserves? legal principle would you use to ensure that Ms. Tolile obtains her cow's back? Huh? Ma'am, I can see your lips. You want the money. Tell us, which legal principle? You are correct, at least you know you're saying. You just have yes. Reivindicatio, indeed. Isn't that the legal principle that you would apply in this particular circumstances? But now let me ask, why are you applying reivindicatio? What other options do you have as a magistrate to apply in this particular scenario? Go back to your constitution, ladies and gentlemen, and explain to me, in the absence of reivindicatio or common law as we know it, what else are you going to apply? Say it louder, ma'am. You are on the money. I will say it much simpler and I will give you the law to justify your position. The way that I want to do this in part is both from just reviving constitutional principles and what is important in terms of our adjudication. However, I also want to explore a different way of doing things that would otherwise be beneficial to all of us as far as the legal fraternity is concerned, ladies and gentlemen. You are at the face of meeting up justice. And it's important for all of us that there's a certain progression in terms of how we look at the Constitution and how we bring those particular values in life in terms of our courtrooms. Is it not so? Now let's begin with the first thing. So I have identified about 4 sections at best. The first one would be section 1. That would be the founding principles as far as the Constitution is concerned. That our Constitution is based on human dignity, equality, and freedom. Is it not so? Section 1, subsection paragraph A is the one that says advancement of equality, dignity, and freedoms. That's the first point. The second point in paragraph B speaks about non-racialism and non-sexism. That is also an important point. There are certain things which, in my opinion, I think are inexcusable as far as the judicial process is concerned. Remember, in every other resolution of a matter, the Constitution is our guiding principle. Therefore, it's not so much that perhaps you are writing it down in the form of a judgment, but it's an ideology that must be in your mind. That in whatever type of judgment you're going to give, however you're going to adjudicate that particular matter, the ideals of human dignity and advancement of equality and freedom must be at the center of how you think. Because then, if it's in your mind, the likelihood is you are going to meet fair and just justice that everyone else would approve. And those automatic reviews that goes to the high court will be lessened, and then they will agree with you for most part. Is it not so? So it is quite important. It's a skill that must always be there, if not just the knowledge of the Constitution as far as particular principles are concerned. Now, when you look in this particular matters, and I'll come to Mr. Van Londer in a while when I go to the last part of it, it's that we move into section 9. All of us are familiar with section 9, is it not so? Yeah? The equality clause. Everyone deserves the benefit of the law, the protection and the benefit of the law, is it not so? You see, sometimes I've noticed, it sounds good on paper, it is good. In actual fact, if you go back to your high school days, and I know it's a very long time, it's not high school, but your university days, I know it's a very long time, but if you remember the principles of legality, how the definition of law, right, and how it applies to people, one of the things that I've never forgotten is that that particular law must be legitimate to the people whom it governs. Now, if you are meting out justice, in your mind, you're applying the rules as it were, and people still complain, yes, you have ruled that this is discrimination, or this is unequal or unfair, but the people seem to not agree with how that particular judgment was done. Let me give a small example. In the olden days, I hear, because I wasn't born, I think, at the time, they say that when a policeman would come and arrest you, ordinarily they would come in a bicycle, right? They would have come to you and said, you are under arrest, come with me. You would follow the bicycle, right? Now, first, what this demonstrates is you accept the authority of that particular person, right? And knowing that you have done something wrong, even if you didn't do something wrong, but you needed to prove that you didn't do anything wrong, you would follow that particular bicycle with no qualms. Now you would have seen on the news that you literally have to chase, sometimes it's gun blazing in order to apprehend people, right? But in the olden days, you would follow someone to jail. Now that does not happen, right? That speaks about acceptance, and I'm not necessarily saying that I know the history, so please forgive me. I know the history of why someone will follow, because likely they will die if they don't follow. But besides the point, the principle still remains that when a particular law is meted out to someone who deems that particular law to be legitimate and acceptable to that particular individual, they agree with it without any questioning of that particular system or legal principles. Just to give an example, I live in a village in Limpopo. We still congregate under a tree, as our constitution simplifies. And if you have a dispute against your neighbor or anyone else, we go and deliberate everyone. Luckily for me, ladies and gentlemen, I've learned that KZN does not have a similar system. We have everyone sit under the tree to adjudicate matters. So it's not a male affair only. So everyone sits, whoever has an interest in that particular matter, and they meet out justice. Can I tell you that we've never had someone doing what we call forum shopping, where afterwards they go to a magistrate court to find another solution which perhaps they could not find in that particular setting. So you see, it's not a matter that they cannot go to a magistrate court or a high court, but it's because they understand the legitimacy of that particular tribunal and they abide by the rules of that tribunal because it's legitimate to them. Are we in order, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Now let's move on. That is the equality part. It is not just the fact that you've made a technically sound ruling about equality, but it's a matter of the protection and benefit of the law. Is it in line with what may be seen to be legitimate on the parties that are appearing before you? Section 39 of the Constitution. When we interpret the Bill of Rights, what must we do? That's subsection 1. Then it goes to, with relation to the development of common law and the development of customary law. What does it say? We must then develop common law and customary law, is it not so? Now let me come to this development of both of the laws. How often do we, the classic case in terms of development, and I know this is beyond your jurisdiction, ladies and gentlemen, but is for now, some of you are acting judges, is it not so? Some of you have aspirations of becoming judges, is it not so? So this information you're going to need very soon. Hopefully very, very, very soon. Dr. G is there, stop her so that she puts on aspirant judge program, and then you move on. Now, you remember the principle of necessitous fiction, right? How far are we in that particular principle? I like it forms part of our common law. How far are we? What is the jurisprudence when it comes to the necessitous fiction? My fellow magistrates, you have not heard abreast of the development. Development of common law, ladies and gentlemen. The point I want to demonstrate, in actual fact, let me speak about something that has already happened. The legalization of DACA. For a long time, And I would say that we should also legalize prostitution, and I have no interest in that particular matter other than justice, ladies and gentlemen. Other than justice, ladies and gentlemen. But the legalization, the decriminalization or criminalization of dacha has always been an irrational, the same as prostitution, has always been an irrational based on religious fundamentalism through the history of our legal system, right? And there are many of those principles that seem not to be developing. So, for you, 2 years later when you are judges, it would be up to you. When I knew that that case was before Dennis in the Western Cape, I knew how he was going to judge, because he's a rebel when it comes to the legal jurisprudence. I did not even think twice. I knew Dennis was going to say we must legalize that. And if a case of prostitution goes before him again, he's still going to say it's irrational that prostitution should still be a crime. That is how I know. It's because when you develop things such as common law, it must be in such a way that it keeps up with the times and it sits to promote the dignity and equality that we're speaking about. Now let me come to the second component of so-called customary law. I say this under protest, ladies and gentlemen. Every law is customary to someone, is it not so? Therefore, in my vocab, when I write articles, when I teach my students, when I review books, when I supervise master students and soon PhD students, I do not use the term customary law. It's not right in any shape or form. Anyway, I call it African customary law, the same way that I call so-called common law European customary law. That's how I make the distinctions between the two, because essentially that's what they are in real terms. Can you believe what my students even tell me? When I say, what is the definition of common law? They say, sir, it's the law that is common to everyone. Not true story. Invariably, they will always tell me that it's the law that is common to everyone. So there's a discredit in terms of information. I hope none of you believes that common law that is common to everyone. But no, if you look at the definition of common law, it's essentially Roman Dutch law with some bit of English law as far as our corporate law is concerned, and some bit of borrowing from other jurisprudence such as the American ones. That's essentially it, and that's why I call it European customary law in that aspect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling people this, and perhaps you can challenge me on this. We have not, as yet, we are developing towards a South African law, but we are not as yet using the Constitution to practice South African law. That's why we still use terminologies such as customary law, which means that we center European customary law as the main one. That is history. We will not argue about it now. However, my point here is, in terms of utilization of the Constitution, and I will show you how to do it, is that we must come to a point where there's no longer such a thing as African customary law or European customary law. But we have intertwined, because we're not going to do away with history, is it not so? But there's going to be a point where one could suss out the legal jurisprudence in South Africa and say, this is the South African law with its context and particularities. That's what we're aiming for. And you are the face of that particular endeavor, fortunately for us. Right? Now, my lady said, Regent. That's the first part of call. Section 211, subsection 3 of the Constitution says, and this is in the broader scheme of traditional leadership in chapter 12 of the Constitution, page 114 of the Constitution, if I may add, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when you look, when you look at that particular section, ladies and gentlemen, it tells you quite clearly, it doesn't discriminate common law and custom and African law. It doesn't discriminate. It says you must apply the law as it is. But it's funny. Well, not funny, I understand this very well, but I'm saying it should not stay the same. It is funny that our comfort zone always go to Regent, for example. It is always our safest, because that's what we know best. That is what the common law aspect thrives on legal certainty when you go back to the development of legal jurisprudence in South Africa. It thrives on the fact that when I say reivindicato, everyone in the room understands I must get my property back, right? Now, if now I take Ms. Polile's issue, my learned lady spoke about evidence. I was thrilled. I made a presentation, they called me in PE, if I'm not mistaken, late last year to decolonize the civil section of the magistrate court. And we're speaking about some of these particular aspects. And then what was, like, that particular lady took the show as it were. So, she wanted a matter, same matter that we have, and I didn't know this before I went there. How they've dealt with the evidence of that particular case is that they did an inspection in Durban. The gentleman whose house is in stolen stood from a distance and started calling those cows, praising those cows. This was after about 2 years or so. Can you believe those cows that were stolen quickly moved themselves away with their cows, by the way, with their cows, and then they went to their rightful owner. The magistrate was there. That was the end of the case. Real life story. Real life story. That was it. But what I want you to do from now on is censor yourself to a certain extent. It cannot be, everything is certain, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give a classic example that most of us would know of paying lobola and the processes of paying lobola. There is no person in terms of African law who does not know the particularities of that particular law. And there's no law in the Constitution that says we must privilege one law over the other. But for all of us, we must then look as to whether we are meeting justice in a way that is legitimate to our people, giving credence to the equality and dignity. Remember, dignity in the law context, let me just go back pre-94, was the law dignified to a certain group of people? Did it bring dignity? So we must be careful that even in the new dispensation, we're not going to then say we are meeting up dignified judgments, only to find out we're repeating the same mistakes that we've always been repeating. So it is important to realize, remember the word transformation does not appear in the Constitution, right? But it's important for you, as other scholars have written, that it's a transformative constitution, which means it cannot be business as usual. You utilize the constitution to be brave, to come up with jurisprudence that one day we may go back and say, oh, that mistrust fiction nonsense has been done away with. If you happen to murder someone who is pregnant, you will murder 2 people as opposed to 1. And you can deal with science if science is important in those particular things. So, oh dear, I'm running out of time. One thing that must be important as far as this section is concerned, utilize the Constitution in a way that is, by revolutionary, I don't mean more chance. Use the Constitution in a way that is revolutionary in the advancement of a South Africa